welcome back to my channel, Melodious, and I am going to do a Tasty Tuesday. I am going to make a recipe. It's a brand new one. I've never made it before. Found it on Pinterest. Thought it sounded good. It's called Skillet Lasagna. So here are the ingredients, and then we can see if I can put this together. So the ingredients are, you need chicken broth and salt and pepper. I have right there. Some olive oil, turkey or ground beef. I decided to go with turkey. Some bow tie pasta, some minced garlic, 1 small can of tomato sauce, and some diced tomatoes. This is chopped. This is about 2 tablespoons of basil and 2 tablespoons of parsley. And this is 2 cups. This is optional. You don't have to put that in here, but I decided to. 2 cups of spinach, and it said 2 small zucchini or medium zucchini cut up, and it made about a little over 2 cups of zucchini. And some cottage cheese and some mozzarella cheese, and these are additional optional things if you want to do it. Ricotta cheese and Parmesan cheese. So I do believe that's all the ingredients we need to make this recipe, so I will go ahead and we'll start putting it together. Okay, so I have my pan here, and I kind of hope it's big enough. I think it is big enough. You need to take some olive oil. They say half a tablespoon. I'm just going to eyeball it because I'm just going to pour some in. I'm sure that's more than half a tablespoon, but I think it's good enough. Okay, and then you put that on medium high heat, so you get it about where it should be. You gotta let that heat up, and then you put in the garlic. Hang on a minute. 2 to 3 cloves of garlic is what it calls for. So that would be about 1.5 teaspoons, 1.5 teaspoons if you use this, which I like to use this. I'm just going to squirt some in. I do that a lot. I have to open up, while I'm waiting for this to heat up a little bit, I have to open up my cans to get them ready to pour into the stuff. But you just cook the turkey or the hamburger for the start of it. So I'm going to try to get my cans prepared, and then I will put the turkey in after I get the garlic. Put that in there. Ouch. I just don't have a lot of room at the moment. I just want to get everything all set so I don't have to worry about it later. It's always a good thing. Okay, I have opened up the cans to get them ready. Alright, I just have to wait for that to heat up just a little bit. I should have something to use this. Okay, I'm going to move this around. And I will leave a link to the recipe in the description box. That's why I generally do. None of these are my idea ever. I just like finding things on Pinterest to try that I haven't tried before and jazz up dinners sometimes because they can get boring. I find it boring to make the same things over and over, so I try to find new things to make. And then when I find something, I like to share it. So it's kind of what I do. Alright, so I think it's heated up quite a bit. I'm going to just squirt in some garlic. Maybe. Let's see. About that much. I'm going to say that much. I don't think the olive oil was necessarily heated up enough to do anything with this, but it's starting to, so it's starting to. I'm just moving it around. I mean, you only do this for a few seconds, and then you dump in the turkey, or the hamburger, whichever meat you're using. I'm just trying turkey with it. Just wait for it does its sizzling thing for a little bit. So I think this sounded really good, so hopefully it will be good. It sounded really good. So yeah, so let's see. It's doing its thing. I'm gonna let it continue to do its thing while I check the recipe. Okay, it smells fragrant to me. That's what they said. Do about 30 seconds. It's kind of sticky now, so I better get the meat in here. Even though it's turkey. Whoa. Okay. Stir that around. So you cook this, you know, until it browns. And you chop it up really fine if you can. So that's what I'm doing. Smells good already because that's just the garlic in the turkey. Okay, so I'm going to need, after this, I'm going to need tomato sauce and tomatoes and oregano and the zucchini. And also, I didn't mention this in the recipe, but just say you can add crushed red pepper if you want. I didn't think I'd find it so fast. I wasn't going to add it because I didn't think it would be that big of a deal, but since I found it really quick, I'm like, okay, I'll put it in there too. So the next step will be, after this is browned really good and crumbled really good, you add salt and pepper to taste. You know, sprinkle some salt and pepper in there, and then you put in the sauce, tomato sauce, the diced tomatoes, the oregano, the crushed pepper, and the zucchini. That's the next step, I know. So this might take a little while to brown, so I'm gonna come back when it's all ready and show you. Hello, so I'm back. So I think I've cooked the turkey enough. It doesn't really brown, I mean, but it gets done. You can tell when it's done, and it breaks out pretty well. I didn't have to drain fat. There's no fat in turkey much, so didn't have any fat to drain, and I didn't really have to work hard breaking it up. It broke up quick on its own. All right, so after you have it all cooked and drained and broken up, you add salt and pepper. Just some, you know, whatever you want to add. Add some pepper. Might turn the heat down just a little bit while I add everything on here. Okay, because it's sizzling already. Stir it around. Right, now I'm going to add the zucchini. Oh, by zucchini, I lost a piece. Okay, so I'm stirring the zucchini, stirring the tomato sauce, stirring that. I'm going to put in the tomatoes. I hope I have enough room in this pan. I worry. I worry about it. Because I still haven't added the other stuff. Oh boy. I hope it will. I feel like it should. It's a pretty big, you know, pan, but oh, I just lost a few more zucchini. Oh well. Okay. I'm a messy cook. Okay, and so then you're supposed to add 1.5 teaspoons of oregano. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I think. I didn't have single left to use these. So, 1. Oop, and I need the half. Where'd the half go? 1 and half of oregano. There that is. And I have to add 1/2 teaspoon of, and that was 1.5 teaspoons. I don't know if I showed it. I have to do 1/2 teaspoon of the red pepper flakes. Not sure if I can get this thing off though. This is gonna be fun. Okay, I'm gonna try to do this. Come on, get in there. Come on. It's gonna be difficult. Oh, there it goes. Come on. There. I'm gonna have some cleanup to do, but I got it. There, that's about good enough. Sprinkle, 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 sprinkle. Okay. And if I remember now, the only other thing I add, I'm just mixing it up, stirring it up a little bit. I did all that. Oh, and I have to add 1 tablespoon of the fresh basil. So I'm just gonna pinch it. There, I think it's gonna be good enough. Just sprinkle maybe a little more. There we go. The rest of it's gonna save for later. So I'm gonna stir that in. I think it's gonna be yummy if it all stays in the pot. I hope it stays in the pot. The last thing I have to add, and I remembered everything else, is I have to do scant, they say scant, I'm not even sure what that means, but anyway, some bow ties, maybe because they don't all fit. There's one there. I think that's pretty scant. I'm just going to dump those in there. And then you also, okay, I just lost a couple, so there you go. Make up for the couple that fell on the floor. There we go. Okay, so after that, then you add 2 cups. They said either water or chicken broth. I'm going for chicken broth because I'm just going for more flavor. I figure it will go good with the turkey maybe. So you just get, they said reduce sodium, but I just grabbed chicken broth. I'm sure it's fine. Whew, 2 cups right there. Yep. You pour that in. Carefully you pour it in. Oh, it fit. Oh my goodness. I'm scaring myself right now. Okay, so I'm just gonna mix it in kind of carefully. And then you bring this to a boil. I'm gonna turn up my heat a little so it will boil. And then you cover it with a, you know, if you had a lid. I don't have a lid for these, so I'm gonna use tin foil. And then you just simmer it, you know, turn the heat down. After it boils, turn the heat down. Simmer it for, I think they said about 15 minutes until the bow tie pasta is tender. That usually is about how long it takes. But stir it every few minutes, like every 3 minutes or so, 3 to 4 minutes. Give it a stir, because you don't want the pasta to stick to the plate, maybe stick to the pan. And they said you could add more broth or water if you need to. I don't know if I'm going to need to. I'll check it. But anyway, now I'm just waiting for this to boil. Help it out a little bit. Yeah, I think it all fit. I'm impressed. It all fit pretty good. I'm excited about that. So, yep. I'm just waiting for it to boil, so I'll be right back. So my pasta is boiling. It took about, I don't know, it took about 3 minutes. 3 or 5 minutes and it started to boil. So I'm going to reduce this. Since it's boiling now, right? You're boiling. Right, you're good. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to turn this to low, or, you know, low heat. Something like that, so it will simmer. I think on 2 it should simmer. And I'm going to cover it with the tin foil best I can. Best I can. It's not going to be perfect. It's going to be perfect. Anyway, I'm covering it the best I can. That's going to have to be good enough. And so I'm covering it. I turned it on low. I'm going to let that simmer for about, ooh, that's hot too. Watch out for the steam. I'm going to do that for about 14 or so minutes, but I'm going to stir it every few minutes. You know, every 3 minutes or so, just make sure it doesn't stick. So, gonna do that. And also, they said if you're adding spinach to do, so I'm gonna set my timer for 10 minutes, and then put it in after 10 minutes. So then I'm gonna stop this. I'm gonna put the spinach in, put it in for another 10 minutes, and it should, or 5 minutes or so, and it should be totally, well, I'll be ready for the next step. There's a couple more steps. Okay, so I'll be right back when this is cooked. Well, this has been cooking simmering for 10 minutes. That's what it looks like. And it is getting tender. It's not quite there yet, but I still have about 5 or, I might even give it 10 more minutes. So I'm going to do this right now. If you're adding spinach, to add it. So I'm now adding it. Okay. Trying to stir that in. I know they shrink right up, so it's not that big of a deal, but okay, so we got the spinach in there. I'm trying to move it in. There we go. There we go. Alright. So I'm going to cover this again, and I'm going to cook it for about 5 to 10 more minutes. And then hopefully it'll come back and it will be ready. At least that part. Okay, I want to move you just a bit. There we go. So I did cook this for about almost 20 minutes. And the pasta's done. Everything's done. I'm going to now dump the cheese. They say you can remove it from the stove and put the cheeses on, but since I'm going to be putting the optional ricotta cheese on, I might as well just leave it in. So it calls for a cup of mozzarella. And then it also calls for 2/3 cup of cottage cheese. That's what I'm doing. And they say just stir it in. And then after I stir this in, I'm just going to dollop some ricotta cheese on top, because that's what they said you could do as an optional thing. And then you cover it and let that cook for like 2 minutes, just 2 minutes until the cheese is melted. So that's what I'm doing. Just want to stir this in good if I can. Oops. Okay, I guess I stirred it in. Now I'm going to try the whole thing that they suggest, so just a little bits, I guess. One more, I guess. Here. And one more over here. There we go. I think that's good. Alright, now I'm going to cover that and let that set in there for 2 minutes. Whoops. And I will cover Okay, so it's been 2 minutes and there it is. I don't feel like the ricotta really melted much, but I guess it's done. So this is skillet lasagna, they say. I think I would have added less liquid if I was going to do it again, because it has a lot of liquid in it. But I did it exactly the way they said to do it. So yeah, I'm going to put it in dish and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so here's my finished result. Anyway, I do think maybe I added too much chicken broth. I did exactly what the recipe said, but it really turned out runnier than what the picture showed on the website. So I think in future I would add just a slightly less bit of chicken broth, because I mean, if you add too much liquid, you can't undo that really. So I think I don't even know if I might even add just like a cup and a half instead of 2 cups, or maybe I'd put it in a little more pasta. Maybe I'd just throw in a little more a few more bow ties, but that's what it looks like anyway. I mean, it's not too bad. I tried a little bit. It has a nice flavor to it. It does. But yeah, it's not really, it's not the best looking thing I've ever made, but I mean, it is skillet lasagna. What do you want? So it is tasty. It has a nice flavor. So yeah, you can try it for yourself and maybe you can tweak it and see what you come up with if it's something you're interested in. So that's the one skillet lasagna. I will leave a link to the recipe in my description box below. So thank you all so much for joining me, and I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.